Hi, boys and girls. Today's story is David's Father by Robert Munsch and Michael Marchenko. That looks weird. Wonder what this book is about. You have these people walking around with these ginormous utensils, fork, spoon, and a knife. Very strange. Wonder what this book is about. David's Father, story by Robert N. Munsch, art by Michael Marchenko. And this one is dedicated to somebody named Julie. Oh, and Julie is in this book. Julie was skipping home from school. She came to a large moving van. A man came out carrying a spoon, only it was as big as a shovel. Another man came out carrying a fork, only it was as big as a pitchfork. A third man came out carrying a knife, only it was as big as a flagpole. Yikes, said Julie. I don't want to get to know these people at all. She ran all the way home and hid under her bed till dinner time. Well, you know what? To be quite honest with you, if I saw somebody moving in with those types of utensils, I might hide too. The next day, Julie was skipping home from school again. A boy was standing where the moving van had been. He said, "Hi, my name's David. Would you like to come and play?" Julie looked at him very carefully. He seemed to be a regular sort of boy, so she stayed to play. She's giving him the once-over. Check her out. She's really looking at him hard. At 5 o'clock, from far away down the street, someone called, "Julie, come and eat." "That's my mother," said Julie. Then someone called, "David!" "That's my father," said David. Julie jumped up in the air, ran around in a circle 3 times, ran home, and locked herself in her room till it was time for breakfast the next morning. That's how much that voice scared her. Oh my goodness, look at all the stuff she piled up in front of the door. The next day, Julie was skipping home, and she saw David again. He said, "Hi, Julie. Do you want to come and play?" Julie looked at him very, very carefully. He seemed to be a regular boy, so she stayed and played. When it was almost 5 o'clock, David said, "Julie, please stay for dinner." But Julie remembered the big knife, the big fork, and the big spoon. "Well, I don't know," said Julie. "Maybe it's a bad idea. I think maybe no. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye." "Well," said David, "we're having cheeseburgers, chocolate milkshakes, and a salad." "Oh," said Julie, "I love cheeseburgers." I'll stay. Look at her little face. So they went into the kitchen. There was a small table with cheeseburgers, milkshakes, and salads. On the other side of the room, there was an enormous table. On it were a spoon as big as a shovel, a fork as big as a pitchfork, and a knife as big as a flagpole. Uh-oh. "David," whispered Julie, "who sits there?" "Oh," said David, "that's where my father sits. You can hear him coming now." David's father sounded like this. "Ba-room, ba-room, ba-room." Oh no. Oh my goodness, and look at what he likes to eat. He likes to eat octopus, and then this looks like snails. I don't know what that is. Yuck. He opened the door. David's father was a giant. On his table there were 26 snails, 3 fried octopuses, and 16 bricks covered with chocolate sauce. That's what that was, you guys. Bricks covered with chocolate sauce. Good night. Oh my goodness, he would be pretty scary, I would think. Oh no. David and Julie ate their cheeseburgers, and the father ate the snails. David and Julie drank their milkshakes, and the father ate the fried octopuses. David and Julie ate their salads, and the father ate his chocolate-covered bricks. Ooh! Maybe that's why his teeth are kind of like that. Maybe some of them broke. Ay, ay, ay. David's father asked Julie if she would like a snail. Julie said no. David's father asked Julie if she would like an octopus. Julie said no. David's father asked Julie if she would like a delicious chocolate-covered brick. Julie said no, but please, may I have another milkshake? So David's father made her another milkshake. Oh my goodness, look how big his hand is. When they were done, Julie said very softly so the father couldn't hear, "David, you don't look very much like your father." "Well, I'm adopted," said David. "Oh," said Julie. "Well, do you like my father?" "He's great," said David. "Come for a walk and see." So they walked down the street. Julie and David skipped, and the father went, "Ba-room, ba-room, ba-room." They came to the road, and they couldn't get across. The cars would not stop for David. The cars would not stop for Julie. The father walked into the middle of the road, looked at the cars, and yelled, "Stop!" The cars all jumped up into the air, ran around in the circle 3 times, and went back up the street so fast they forgot their tires. Oh my goodness. Look at these people. Julie and David crossed the street and went into a store. The man who ran the store didn't like serving kids. They waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then David's father came in. He looked at the storekeeper and said, "These kids are my friends." The man jumped up into the air, ran around the store 3 times, and gave David and Julie 3 boxes of ice cream, 11 bags of potato chips, and 19 lifesavers, all for free. Julie and David walked down the street and went around a bend. Oh my goodness, I guess he is good to have as a friend. Oh, look at all the stuff they got. There were 6 big kids from grade 8 standing in the middle of the sidewalk. Oh, I can kind of guess what's going to happen. What do you think is going to happen? Kids from 8th grade. I mean, sometimes they're trouble, especially towards little kids. Let's see if my prediction is right. I think they're probably going to be mean, and maybe David's father will defend David and Julie. Let's see. They looked at David, they looked at Julie, and they looked at the food. Oh, it's about the food. Then one big kid reached down and grabbed a box of ice cream. David's father came around the bend. He looked at the big kids and yelled, "Beat it!" They jumped right out of their shirts. They jumped right out of their pants and ran down the street in their underwear. Julie ran after them, but she slipped and scraped her elbow. That's what you get for being mean. David's father picked her up and held her. Then he put a special giant bandage on her elbow. Julie said, "Well, David, you do have a very nice father after all. But he is still kind of scary." I would say so. Look how big he is. But he's friendly. "You think he's scary," said David. "Wait until you meet my grandmother." And look who's behind. Oh no. I can only imagine what David's grandmother looks like. And it makes me wonder, is she as nice as David's father? I bet she is. I bet it could be a circular story where Julie gets to know the grandmother and she's really nice again too. And boys and girls, I guess the lesson that I learned from this book is, and we've talked about this so many times before, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. You should never just look at a person and say, "Oh, I don't like them." You really need to get to know them first, don't you? Yeah. But only people that your parents know, and only people that have been to your house and you know really well, not strangers. We don't want to get to know strangers because sometimes they can be nice, but remember, if you don't know them, you need to stay away from them. So anyway, funny book. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.